going to talk specifically about what's going on around the country with regards to religious exemptions for the COVID-19 vaccine. Demands for such exemptions have put some employers in a really tough spot. By now, you've probably heard several stories of people walking off the job because they refuse to get the vaccine for religious reasons. In the past, talking about religion in the workplace was taboo, but the question of exemptions is causing companies to change. Now, in many cases, that means getting tough on these growing requests. Disney, for example, is requiring those seeking an exemption to fill out a form that requires documentation of medical issues that might prevent someone from getting vaccinated. The form also says the company has the right to ask you specific questions about your religious beliefs and how you practice before granting any religious accommodation. General Electric and Amtrak employees are being asked to fill out questionnaires that cover not only religious beliefs, but ask if employees have tattoos or piercings and whether they eat foods with preservatives. And the forms also ask about specific medications the employee and their family members take, everything from Tylenol to Tums, Benadryl, and even other vaccines they may have received in the past. Now, the reason for this question is to allegedly debunk a religious exemption based on the argument that the COVID-19 vaccine was produced with cell lines from aborted fetuses. Essentially, the employer is saying if you don't have any issues with these medications, which were created with the cell lines, you shouldn't have an issue with the vaccine. Some employers are also pointing to fact sheets from the Charlotte Lozier Institute that show that only 2 vaccines actually use those cell lines, AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson. The most commonly administered vaccines, Pfizer and Moderna, did not. The state of New York is doing a complete 180 on the issue. Nearly 16,000 healthcare workers have already been granted religious exemptions, but on October 29th, a federal appeals panel upheld the vaccine mandate for all healthcare workers. The panel also rejected the arguments that the mandate does not adequately protect those with religious objections. An appeal for the U.S. Supreme Court has already been drafted, and there is no word on how the state plans to deal with those who have already been granted an exemption. So how far can employers go when it comes to questioning whether these religious beliefs are based in faith or just a way to escape getting the vaccine? The EEOC enforces Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which prohibits discrimination based on religion, but employers are allowed to ask questions to determine if someone is really seeking the exemption based on faith or if they're really social, political, economic views, which are not protected. Now, if you need more information, there are links in the blog connected to this video, and you can always go to ebiinc.com for more. Have a great weekend, everyone. See you next time.